What really happened at Astroworld, guys? I don't know, but we got video for you. So Astroworld happened, and the media is picking up on saying that people were suffocating, and that's why people died. But we might,
Yes, this is a music festival over the weekend,
yep,
and there were so many people there that they were saying people were suffocating because they were just getting packed in,
Crushed.
crushed by other people. But
Some people hit the ground too, and
but
those
what
were
was creating this frenzy? I mean, that
So it
that
was a
was
Travis Scott concert, and I think people were very hyped up about the music.
yeah. I mean,
And
that's
it was kind of like a mosh pit thing.
they rushed the stage when he got really cranking, and they are saying at some of the part he was encouraging.
Yep, he told him
he's
to get up
almost
there.
demonic, right?
Yeah.
He has demonic things on the set, and
It definitely looks like it, like that
Yeah.
giant head and
Yeah.
how he presents himself.
There was another aspect to the story where at one concert a few years ago they put seats out, and they said first come first serve.
oh gosh,
That caused a huge
rush.
to the front,
Yep.
and people died in that as well. So they banned. You can't put chairs out at a stadium anymore like that because of
People
that
all
very
want to
reason.
be in the front row, and so they're gonna do whatever they can. I mean, people that are passionate about something or that love a celebrity, or whatever. I mean, it seems silly, but they're gonna do whatever they can to get as close as they
yeah,
can.
I still don't see that happening at a George Strait concert.
Well, and the one girl that got hurt really bad, the guy was able to make his voice loud enough and get the attention of a few people and say this woman's dying, and they lifted her up
I saw
and did that hand crawl thing and got her off to the side of the stage and saved her life.
yeah, and I think he stopped the concert several times because it was getting so out of hand.
Oh, really?
But
I hadn't heard that.
yeah, but over 8 people died.
I mean,
and I think over 30 were injured, but people were just going in cardiac arrest, like right there on the floor, and they were trying to save people's
yeah.
lives.
I mean, when you start to have a mob like that, there's a difference between a safe mob, which is just a bunch of people around that aren't going crazy, and a dangerous mob. When you have a bunch of people that are all erratic and going crazy, I mean, being trampled to death is a real thing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like you can actually be trampled to death. And
But there was also rumors that people had needles and drugs in the crowd, and that they were just injecting people, and that created the frenzy. And I think we got video where the officer actually alludes to that.
yep.
One of the most influential, incredible, and the biggest fan base to pull some like this off. So once again, make some noise for my brother Travis.
The cheers and singing merged with that of screams for help Friday night during rapper Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival at NRG Park in Houston. According to police, 8 people were killed, their ages ranging from 14 to 27, with one person's age unknown. A total of 25 people were hospitalized. 13 still remain there.
Bodies were getting pulled over into the VIP section, like backstage. People were, as soon as I walked in, one guy ran out and threw up right next to me. People were crying.
Houston Police Chief
Yeah, I mean that basically tells me enough that I need to know that you don't want to be there.
Well,
too much going on. Too many
Guaranteed
people.
that there was heavy drug use going on at this
Well, you
place.
know-
I mean, it's a Travis Scott concert. I mean, what do you? Yeah, that's at all concerts to begin, or a lot of pop concerts or whatever you want to call this.
I used to do plenty
Stop.
of drugs at concerts.
Well, with the new designer drugs and the availability and people being able to literally cook them, no, not like meth, but to make them in their basements and things, and the flood over from Mexico, they're saying they are literally everywhere. The price is dropping. Young teenage kids have them, and they're taking some powerful drugs, and some are hallucinogenics. And they just go
And
nuts.
some of them are, I mean, drugs to begin with are not clean, but I mean, these are laced with a bunch of, even accidentally laced with stuff because there's people doing it in their basement with unclean.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, the big thing is fentanyl. Like,
Yeah.
fentanyl is a very high-powered opioid. And, even what happens is even heroin addicts, they get heroin, but it has a little bit of fentanyl in it because a little tiny bit of fentanyl, it makes people think the heroin's real good. But then people are ODing on the fentanyl.
Oh,
And
gosh.
now people just buy straight up fentanyl, and they're smoking it, shooting it.
Is that what was causing like the blue faces of the 8 people that died?
Definitely, without a doubt, an opioid overdose is going to cause you to stop getting air. You're basically your respiratory system is so relaxed it just stops
Shuts
working.
down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Troy Finner explaining at a press conference the causes of death are unknown at this time, adding they're looking into questions about a crowd surge, concert goers being trampled, and possible criminal activity of someone injecting people with drugs.
We do have a report of a security officer, according to the medical staff that was out and treated him last night, that he was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan.
The Houston fire chief went on to say,
Wow, that's crazy.
That's disgusting. And I mean, how do you even track that? You don't.
Narcan is how you counteract opioid overdose.
Well, yeah, but how do you? How do you track the fact that someone did that? I mean, you can't.
That's just pure evil.
Especially in a large crowd like that. I mean, that is murder. That is essential. I mean, that's
attempted murder at least.
Or attempted murder. That's.
I would think they might could track it
untraceable.
down, though. I mean, if they got video cameras or
That would be difficult.
I mean,
to
there
do.
are so many people in that crowd.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, could you say that he gave him a shot to kill? I mean, you know.
could, yeah. It's like a James Bond movie.
It sounds like it.
several doses of Narcan were administered. Max Levy was in attendance. He explains he noticed the chaos at first, but it didn't seem out of the norm for a Travis Scott performance. However, he had no idea how bad things were actually getting.
He talks about mosh pits in his shows. You know what to expect with that crowd. People are going to get rowdy. He stopped performing at least 4 or 5 times, and he said, hey, help this person.
I think something to note about that is the fact that he stopped the performance multiple times. I mean, you know what kind of concert you're getting into, and so there's probably going to be a little extra rowdiness as he described. But I mean, if he had to actually stop the performance multiple times, I mean, that means it went even above and beyond what was expected.
Was that out of his concern because he could see people down front getting trampled?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Like that's what they said. I mean,
they were actually like pulling people off the first row because they were just getting trampled so bad. They couldn't breathe. People were just sucking for air. They said it was so many people that, I mean, they just couldn't breathe.
It's hard to believe like lack of oxygen in general in an outdoor concert. But
Yeah.
I watched
if you're
the
getting
girls.
trampled and stomped on your lungs, then you could.
Well, they were just so tight though, pushed up against each other. I saw a girl. She said that she was actually hurting in her ribs from trying to breathe at the concert.
And plus, hyperventilation can send you into a psychotic state and give you a heart attack.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now, event organizers Live Nation and Travis Scott have said they will fully cooperate with police in the ongoing investigations. And outside of NRG Park, there's already been a memorial placed for the 8 people who have died. Houston police are still working to notify 2 of the victims' families. In Houston, John Paul Barajas.
Yeah, I mean, that's
back. The robots are back.
sounds like the robots are back, but we made it through the end. But yeah, that's a crazy story. I mean, don't be going to concerts like that. I mean, that's just asking for a bad time.
But if you could avoid the chaos, I mean, that would be a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah, if you could avoid it, because I mean, I don't know how possible it is.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, guys, we want to know what you have to say about this. Put it in the comments below. Give us a like and subscribe. Find us on the Free Speech Forum, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
See you next time.